Blue Note was a bit more intimate than Paradise because obviously we was far away. It was only like certain artists and DJs could see us, but in Blue Note, you was right there, it was right on the level, so people was right next to you, you know what I mean? They could touch the decks if they wanted to, but they got a cap if they did.
You know, back then it was just week in, week out, it was like going to church. You know, you go to Blue Note and it would be like, it was like a sweat box.
I think for me, you know, look back and I think about poignant moments. I think knowing that I was going on tour, knowing that I was getting fucking ripped to shreds for being this artist that was out there with a live band and doing all this sort of stuff. But I remember coming back off tour and going to Blue Note and switching the lights on and going, guys, thank you very much, taking the mic from Cleveland and saying, yo, it's great to be back, guys, but we've done it. And here it is, and just holding up a gold disc and saying, we've done it, we've gone, we've showed the world that this music is at its best, and it's going to get better. I want it to go platinum with whoever.
Like Groove used to look at people's feet when he used to play, you know what I mean? We'd make him stop. But I used to just pinpoint people in my head and try and work on them just to get them moving, you know what I mean? And when I got him going, then I move on to someone else and hit that person. But no one used to know that, but that's how I used to focus. They used to think, boy, I ain't even smiling. I'm trying to think, I can keep that geezer dancing. I'm on you, then I move on to someone else. I move on to them and just keep the dance floor moving. And by then, people be screaming, you know, people be asking for wheel ups. But my mind was elsewhere, just trying to keep it all connected.
Being brought up when you don't have many dreams to finally be able to dream, Blue Note became the sanctuary. And all of the artists were the splinter cell of all of my mad designs in my mind. You know, I wanted a crew, and you know, you join the crew or get beat down. And we don't care at that point for being called elitist. I don't give a fuck. This is about the sound of the music talking, because the language is universal.
It was like all of us had our own skills, but all of us had our own little imprints on sound, you know what I mean? On certain tunes, and certain artists would do certain people tunes. Groove would get certain tunes that I most probably wouldn't get like 3 weeks later. Or I would get tunes from Andy or wherever that certain people wouldn't get. And like obviously you'd get tunes from artists that you wouldn't get until we heard you play it, innit?
We started off with a Roland S750, an Akai S01, an S950, and I remember ramming it up to the max, and we were like, oh yeah, we've got 30 seconds of sampling time, you know, brilliant. We're going to sample this break, put it on 45 plus 8 just to get it, you know, as little time as possible on the sampling, and then slow it back down, and sampling everything quick, and then sort of like bringing it back down just to get the most out of the technology.
Art. Being a producer is one thing, being an artist is another. You know, the build-up of playing Groove Rider down the phone, Terminator, from Arlington Street in Camden, saying, I think I've changed it. And holding your hands on the ceiling in the studio with your eyes closed, thinking, wow. And that feeling of, you know, going to the Blue Note and leaving Swiss Cottage and driving down and listening to This Is a Bad in the car and hearing it, and then just pulling up to the Blue Note and going around the square and seeing the queue and pulling up and getting out and seeing Governor at the door and say, yo, what up? You know, a guy who did 2 tours with us, you know, we went on tour with Governor when he came out there. You know, the first day on tour in San Diego, he got ran over by the manager on a jet ski and was in fucking critical for 2 weeks. We had Blue Note removed, the ethos continued. You can't kill culture. It's a very difficult thing to do.
It's almost like there's a language, like when me and Risa are making tracks, like for instance, let's flip to New Age, the conversation, the way we speak about it, it's like we use roughage as a term now, it's a regular term, and it's never changed. It's like, oh, we just had a new thing, pretty roughage. So that DNA of Metalheadz is always stuck with us and always will. When you've got something like Metalheadz that's like so future thinking and not closed-minded when it comes to music, it's only going to be able to live on and keep living on so long as that mind stays open, and that was always the ethos with Metalheadz, so it will always be something that's going to continue. To me, I kind of treat Metalheadz like almost like it's my own label.
Metalheadz was essentially a skull with a pair of headphones, which means that long after we're gone, music will always be here.